Welcome to a new daily top Askreddit video. Today's topic: what is, surprisingly, safe for human consumption? I'm reading this thread like I'm looking for dinner tips or something. Not gonna lie, I'm quite hungry after reading some of this thread. Balistol. It's a general purpose oil for lubrication and rust protection and can be used for metal, wood, and leather. It's completely safe to drink, and it even smells like licorice. I came here for this. My grandma used to feed me this stuff as a home remedy. What illness did you have that required general lubricant as a remedy? I'm genuinely curious. You can eat everything inside of a natural beehive, including the bees. Just don't get stung. Crunchy and spicy. Spicy sky raisins. My roommate didn't believe me when I got honeycomb from a local farmer's market and ate it by the spoonful. Usually I just crush it to get the honey out then spit out the comb, but I chewed up and swallowed a whole chunk just to prove to him that you could do it. Edit, stop saying well just because you can eat it doesn't mean you should. I didn't say it was a fucking food group. It isn't going to hurt you. Unless you eat a truckload. Shut up. Google it, you'll find the same. What does the actual comb taste like? Dog/cat food. The FDA requires pet food to be human grade because during the Depression so many desperate people died from eating pet food. Adding, I did not expect this to blow up. I haven't done extensive research on the topic but I learned about this in a college-level history class. Thank you for the awards and upvotes. I love Reddit for the complete randomness that brings everyone together. Also adding, I'm honestly amazed by the amount of people that have ate dog/cat food. I never would have guessed. Fun story, back in 1987 I hiked around the Great Smoky Mountains National Park, and met a few hikers who recommended carrying a pound or so of dry dog food as emergency rations. The idea was that you would never have that as a first choice, but if you were that hungry due to miscalculations, you could eat it to get you through to the next stop. Edit, oof, this blew up, thank you for all the upvotes and the award. Second edit, for those of you asking why not a pound of human food. The idea is that you have something only for emergencies that you won't want unless it is an emergency. Jerky is actually pretty high value, and at the end of, or during, a day of hiking uphill and down dale, you would totally go ahead and eat it, but with dog food, as in the Terry Pratchett quote below, you look at it and think of literally anything else for food. And a pound or so is an arbitrary amount, just take however much makes sense. Once in a while a guy could break an ankle or otherwise injure yourself, which makes it harder to forage, so it is nice to eat. Third edit, for those asking why dog food, it was just a recommendation, and it was 1987. We were using external frame packs. MREs were hella expensive, and REI wasn't really a thing yet. A lot of the hikers I was with were wearing gigantic cleated hiking boots that weighed like 4 pounds each, and if you bent over, a dinosaur ran up behind you and bit you in the ass. Things are way better now. Edit the fourth, on a serious note, thank you all for the upvotes. It was miraculous, the dwarf bread. No one ever went hungry when they had some dwarf bread to avoid. You only had to look at it for a moment, and instantly you could think of dozens of things you'd rather eat. Your boots, for example. Mountains. Raw sheep. Your own foot. Terry Pratchett, read Discworld, you won't be disappointed. Why not carry a pound of trail mix instead? Some indigenous tribes eat clay in small amounts due to the minerals and texture. Wendy's Frosties contain kaolinite, which is a clay. ETA, getting a lot of requests for a sauce since it doesn't seem to be on the published ingredients list. I was told this by a geology professor who had tested it. Interestingly enough, carpectate diarrhea medication was originally formulated with kaolinite before it was replaced with attapulgite. Attapulgite would eventually be banned by the FDA due to high levels of lead. I have 2 cousins adopted from a Haitian orphanage. The orphanage basically took lard and mixed it with small amounts of dirt to feed to the kids. I imagine it was more filler than any notable benefits, but still, crazy to think about. Bonbon terre. At some level it makes sense in that we do take mineral supplements people often know but don't internalize the fact that the iron we eat is actually 100% that, but the idea these mud cookies are ever used to fill tummies is depressing as hell. The little stickers on the fruit you buy in the store. Even the glue for the Mar. FDA approved. I eat stickers all the time, dude. Just be careful with the skin, it's loaded with toxins. Oddly enough, gallium up to certain weight, and a decent amount at that. Please advise, this is not a recommendation to eat it. Do your own research and make your own decisions. I do not advocate for the consumption of gallium. I'm going to eat it. You can't stop me. If something bad happens, it's all your fault. Fine, but I won't like it. Tell me how it tastes, for science. A well-known practical joke among chemists is to fashion gallium spoons and use them to serve tea to unsuspecting guests, since gallium has a similar appearance to its lighter homologue aluminum. The spoons then melt in the hot tea. Yeah. Science, bitch. Whoa, no homologue. Petroleum jelly. Small amounts have been used as laxative and stool softener. My dog ate a whole little bottle of it once. Tried to do it again when I replaced it. It quite, but my dog goes apeshit for Vaseline. My son did this. It was quite a diaper. The man that discovered it ate a spoonful every day and lived to be 96 years old. His name was Robert Cheesebrough. My grandma lived to be 97 and did not eat Vaseline every day. My cat ate some. I can confirm it is a laxative and stool softener. So can my carpets. Methylene blue. Though it'll make your pee turn blue. That might be a funky upside, actually. It stains really badly. You can get blue underwear, blue toilet bowl, blue car seats. Most people who take methylene blue have bladder control problems. Dandelions can make a great tea. In French, dandelions are called pissenlit, which literally means piss in bed, supposedly because drinking dandelion tea makes you more likely to wet the bed. Edit, I know that dandelion comes from Dandelion, can everyone please stop commenting on this? It's a diuretic. A lot of restaurants here in Western New York offer steak and dandelion sandwiches as regular menu items. For instance, Dandelion's restaurant, located in Amherst, NY offers a steak and dandelion sandwich. There are other fast dining joints in the area that offer them, one of them being half a mile from my job. Meanwhile, I'm outside every spring pulling the fuckers out of my yard. Edit, I never realized dandelions were bee-friendly. My old house had a dedicated garden, tulips, peas, etc., that were rife with honeybees during the spring and summer. Since the garden always preoccupied the bees, I never noticed them around the dandelions in my yard. Just moved into a new house a few months ago, so I'll keep this in mind. Charge the restaurant to come pull fresh, locally grown, organic dandelions straight from your yard. When I had my gallbladder removed a few months ago, the doc told me, apropos of nothing, I could eat the stones they let me keep. I mean, I guess they're mostly cholesterol, so it makes sense. I'm so jealous, they wouldn't let me keep mine. I got mine out when I was 12, I'm 25 now and have nothing by which to remember my short-lived, pain-in-the-ass gallbladder. You enjoy those stones. But don't eat them, that's extremely cursed and I can't believe the doc said that lol. Why wouldn't they let you keep them? They're yours. You made them fair and square gallbladder shaped. Most venom can be safely digested, if you don't have any open wounds in your mouth and digestive system. Edit, this doesn't mean, you should drink venom if you can, or French kiss the next cobra. Don't put toxins in your body. There are better ways to find out if you have open wounds or ulcers in your mouth. High percentage alcohol for example, or spicy food. Please drink responsibly and only if the area where you live allows it, to make people die of alcohol poisoning. Edit 2, now I know what Hank Green feels like. Yeah, that's the difference between poison and venom. If it bites you and you die, it's venom. If you bite it and you die, it's poison. Yeah, that's the difference between poison and venom. If it's a hair metal band, it's poison. If it's one of the pioneers of black metal, it's venom. You can even build up tolerances to poisonous substances such as aoki powder. YMMV, I learned this in a kissing book. Inconceivable. Had a severely alcoholic patient drink 2 large bottles of mouthwash, Listerine etc., every day for about 15 years. You'd think nearly 10,000 bottles of mouthwash would kill a man, but number. At least, not very quickly. His gut health probably sucked, but his breath was fresh and minty. My little brother did this when he was like 4, well not 2 large bottles but he swallowed like a cup full, and my mom freaked out and called poison control. They laughed and told her to have him eat some crackers or mayo. She did not find it funny. Pokeweed is edible if cooked properly. I remember my BIL's dad made poke salad. He said the idea is to cook most of the poison out, but leave enough for your lips to tingle. Edit, my sister is the one married to BIL, and his father is now deceased. I don't claim to know how to properly cook it, but the general consensus in the comments are 1. You only want young poke, the toxins build up with the age of the plant. 2. You want the leaves, not the roots. 3. You have to boil the poke several times, throwing out the water each time, to cook out the toxins. The tingle I mentioned apparently manifests as really bad pain in uncooked/undercooked, caused by said toxins. This is by far the most likes I've ever gotten on Reddit, so thanks to everyone so much. Playing too much Pokemogo made me mispronounce the name of this plant just now. How do you think cofigs are born? You just light up some dank pokeweed. It was a popular depression food eaten by my family as late as the Sovieties. They called it poke salad rather than salad. It contains a water-soluble poison that will chemically burn your mouth. Boil it in water, rinse it in cold water, then cook it. It's like spinach or turnip greens but more fibrous.